than everybody else. He's made that abundantly clear.
Yes, it is abundantly clear that he is better than everyone else. Otherwise, why would he be king? And he couldn't wait to be king, so he had to kill his parents.
Somehow I get the feeling he did not get as much fanfare as the person who sang that song the first time.
Now, boys, you know the rule. No one's allowed to kill each other's siblings to become king until after I die.
You till after what? Sorry.
Till after I die.
And regicide is off the table.
Like the Ottoman Empire, they killed all their siblings.
That's what the joke was from, was the Ottoman king. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you first. Now, boys, you gotta wait for me to die first.
Yeah. That makes much more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm going to divvy up my land amongst my 3 daughters, but whoever loves me the most, they're getting the most land.
Thanks, King Lear. One of my favorite Shakespeare quotes is from King Lear. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. From the fool said to King Lear.
Speaking of medieval times, last time with the Whims of Fate, Rada went and talked with the Amor and got introduced to Keladin. Things eventually got awkward as Rada spoke briefly about that there were 2 parts of the dream, and why it was not so great for people. After leaving things on an awkward note, Keladin wondered if what she would have been shown. And more or less told Amor not to die. Erden had a brief talk with Adea about making things, and specifically getting a wild magic crystal out. Apparently the gods are avoiding Adea because she's a deity killer.
I love that is canon.
Got a bunch of good rolls on things that should have been a disadvantage because we all forgot about exhaustion. Specifically about making things or related to making things. And Brina followed Tong to have a chat with her, where more or less Tong has become party grandma.
The favorite grandchild.
And Brina has been coerced into speaking with Rada sooner rather than later.
I wouldn't say coerced because she was already planning on it, but that's neither here nor there, and I will stop talking.
And also made Tong go catatonic with the revelation that she understood what Tong murmured about the buzzing part about her dream. And got told some information. And then Ern tried to go and find Rada, but was way too tired. And got lost. So Tooth had to guide him around, but took him in a big circle first to see if he was paying attention.
One of the funniest things about Brina learning and comprehend languages is the fact that on her own, she knows basically no languages. So it always catches people by surprise when she understands them, and it's not Faye.
Wait.
Very good point.
What?
Ern, it turns out, was not angry at Rada for leaving, or at least it wasn't enough of a betrayal to affect their friendship. And now Rada has to speak with Brina at some point. At which point, Tooth and Erden threw Brina under the bus by mentioning a certain person she has a crush on.
That's fake
Or-
news.
Fake news.
Threw me under the bus. Airden was mainly saying that I wouldn't let myself have fun because we're going into battle. Tube threw me under the bus, but Airden was nearby, is more of what happened.
He's guilty by
It's like
association.
the tragedy happened before I could even realize it was happening.
You are very, very sleep deprived, so yeah, that makes sense.
And because he's so sleep deprived, Rada took him to his room to put him to bed.
Thanks, Mama Rada.
It's one
And
of those things where
this week,
he might have sat at a stop sign waiting for it to turn green. All right. Lots of fun
The
things.
last thing that I have in my notes is that I went in search of Rada and could not find her. Very lost.
Yes.
and this week with the Winds of Fate.
Okay. So. We will pick up around supper time. Everyone can gather back up.
Hello to whoever's behind Braxton.
Oh, yes, this is my sister, Briley. She's deaf, so she will hear none of what we're saying, even if the speaker was on.
She is very sweet. I made her very happy yesterday by giving her tortellini.
She was extraordinarily excited.
So,
You what?
I sign a little bit, but I need practice. Because I learned in high school and college. So, I understand a lot more, but I sign a little bit. Hi.
Yeah, she's not really something because she has very bad balance, so she's using her hands to stay from falling over.
That's perfectly fine.
She's just hanging out with you.
She got excited because she saw that the new Mario movie's coming out and had to tell someone. Yes. 30-second backstory was when the first one came out, we went to see it. I got her a Burger King crown and a pink shirt, and I wore a red shirt with the letter M on it. So to this day, she's Princess Peach and I'm Mario, and it's been a thing for forever.
Nice.
So yeah, she gets very excited about that.
It was really funny when she discovered me on, what was it, TikTok? YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube, so she saw
Yeah. On YouTube. She's like, what is she doing there?
it.
Like, little did you know, I live there.
They were picking up around 7. My apologies, I derailed it because I was like, new person.
Okay, so Erden's probably awake now.
Yeah, he's probably just coming down from his entirety of afternoon nap.
Makes sense.
It's
Feeling
going
a
to
little
take you
more
a long
rested.
time to get to sleep tonight.
Nah, he'll just
Yeah.
jog around the building a little bit. He'll be tired after that.
Igraine and Gorlos will already be in there, then talking kind of quietly with each other while the servants are moving around and putting food out. Looking concerned. Well, what else is new at this point?
After not being able to find Rada, I might have gone and tried to sleep as well.
There.
Yeah, we'll definitely be making sure to get good rest after supper.
If you slept, you will regain that exhaustion because you finally got the rest you needed.
Yay.
Yay! Because sleep does miracles. They will not stop talking when you guys come in. It's like almost like they don't notice that people are wandering in. Very focused.
Focus is
Ern's just
something
gonna
I can
focus
say
on
about
eating.
personally.
That's there. It looks like there is roast boar for dinner. And some seasonal fruits and vegetables. Whatever they may be in Britain. I don't really feel like looking it up.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine it's anything terribly interesting considering what British cuisine typically looks like.
I mean, I know they have berries similar to what we have here, but they're not exactly the same. You know, it's typical for Britain. They have some things that are like us, just not as cool.
Hey, I do prefer their badgers. The
Their
badgers,
badgers are pretty cute.
Ours look
Yeah,
like
they
they're
look-
running a meth lab.
Even our prickly things are quite a bit scarier than theirs. Hedgehogs are cute, but oh my gosh, the noises that porcupines make!
So what we
Remind me, what month is it now?
Danger levels of
Like
nature.
late May. early June.
Sorry, I
We've
didn't
got
catch that.
easy mode, which is Europe. We've got the middle ground, which is the Americas, and you've got hard mode, which is Australia.
The danger level of nature. I love it.
Actually, I saw a video earlier today that said that the Amazon is worse than Australia.
That's believable.
That is true.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay, seasonal vegetables for the month of March, because I'm assuming it's at least moderately close.
May.
It's May to late May, early June.
Okay. Let's see.
Cabbage.
Yeah, so spring onions, beetroots, leeks, kale, and spinach.
Beets.
Wow,
Beetroot.
that's awful.
Yeah, those kids are not are trying to avoid
Oh, it
eating
gets
their
worse.
vegetables.
Wild garlic.
Kale and spinach. Oh.
I'm sitting over here like beets and spinach. That sounds great. I don't like kale, but
Not sugar beets.
Oh.
no, I don't.
Kale,
Kale
beets,
and
spinach, and garlic. The smell coming off of people would be incredible.
Oh.
It's
I don't-
true.
I would not be surprised if Adea is a little bit picky around some of the vegetables.
It really is just a child.
She comes from the Mediterranean. The food there is eating this for sure.
I think Brina would probably be okay with like the beets and the spinach because she's me. And the kale probably she's like, I know I should like this, but I don't like this.
Does kale have redeeming qualities? Like by lizards.
It's
Kind of.
I don't know. Gyarados always gives me dirty looks when I give it to him. He
See,
very
even though I
much
don't like the
arugula. He eats it, but he prefers the arugula. I mean, apparently kale is very high in like vitamin C and like B vitamins and things like that, so it's really good for you. It just tastes like dirt.
It's that health food that reminds you that it is in fact a health food.
Ideas being picky about some of the veggies. As I say, I've probably come into the Great Hall and taken a seat somewhere. But you said that Gorlos and Igraine are not paying attention or not noticing that people are coming in.
Nope. They are very much into their conversation with each other.
Makes sense.
Probably the closest thing to an argument you've ever heard with them. Like a real argument.
Yeah, on saying that, actually, Ern might actually be trying to, like, listen in a little bit, like, what the heck is going on?
Sounds more entertaining than Kale to Dea.
Go ahead and give me a perception check since you're actively trying to listen in.
That's a 10.
I got a 10 as well, which is a 2 plus 8.
Okay.
They are totally arguing in Druidic. No idea what they're saying.
Well, I suppose it wouldn't matter for Rada. I mean, even though I got a. Oh, that's a 22, and that's with a disadvantage.
They're not arguing in Druidic. They're arguing in Kimri.
Yeah,
Or
still.
not in Kimri, in Demnonian.
Investigation.
Still.
Is this the same room that Amber and Cullinan were doing all the planning in?
Yes.
Probably.
So Amber and Cullinan were definitely here. I would presume.
Was that an What was the role that you were having?
Perception.
Are they at all involved in what is going down? Right?
Yeah.
Cullinan is watching with rapt attention and just like sticking food in her mouth, not really paying attention to what she's eating because she's like so invested in this argument.
I suspect that Amber is probably listening for information without being super obvious about the fact that he is actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Let's see. Would Cobalt be there yet, or is he still busy making his poisons?
No, I'd say you're back by now.
Okay.
I will say that Dumnonian is kind of an interesting mix between Elmeshan and Kimri, so you can understand part of the conversation if you choose to listen in.
All right. Oh, he's definitely listening in, and that's 17 4 bonuses. That's 19.
19. Okay, yeah. So you were probably one of the first ones to get in, honestly. You had a successful day. You're like, well, I'm stocked. All this. I'm kind of hungry after all that foraging. And you get in there, and they are already kind of going at it. They were having a conversation with the other couple, but then it devolved into the two of them arguing with each other. And from what you're able to gather, they were contacted by that druid man who had helped Idea with the scary sword. And that he said the army was closer than they were anticipating. And that they had less time to prepare than they would like. And that he seems to have one idea of how to deal with this, and she has a different idea, and she is dead set on her idea being the correct way to go about it. And that he's arguing with her over it, and he's like, I am the Duke. This is my dukedom. I have the final say. I know you're my wife, but...
That sounds like the worst possible thing to say to Igraine.
Yeah, that's like, I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
That's what's happening. It's that argument from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Don't you even tell me what I already know. Like, you're gonna get yourself killed.
I also just realized Emerald might not know Dumnonian. We've established that he learned Elmeshan since
So it's like with Cobalt here. You're probably getting the other half of the conversation because you understand about 50% of what they're saying because it's like a mix.
You get the Elmesh part, he gets the Kimry part.
So you're generally getting the same idea of what's going on, except a little bit less because you're getting distracted by the noises your wife is making, as she is just highly amused by the whole thing. And she's sitting there going, man, she's gonna kick his ass. He's not even gonna be able to go to battle because she's gonna like break his legs or something. And he's not a healer. She is. She'll make sure it takes forever for them to heal. She's just making comments like that, so you're missing more than Cobalt just because she keeps interspersing things, and you're just like, uh-huh.
That's
Jay, am I
hilarious.
able to hear her commentary?
Oh yeah. I will say you can hear her commentary.
So, since I rolled a 3 on perception, I ain't understanding anything at the moment. Which is interesting because my comprehend languages was running, but maybe it literally just ran out.
You cast it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you have it for 24 hours.
Okay, so no, it wouldn't have run out. Maybe it's just like I'm trying to think of like why
Brina's
Brina.
sitting on the other side of the
Yeah.
table.
Brina's the other side
The
of the table.
argument. There's a pig between her and the argument.
You know, there's kids that are distracting. They're loud.
Yeah.
They're
She's
probably
probably helping with the kids, but
talking
but
to
I-
each
at
other or
the same time,
something.
like, she would probably still be looking in between Grillos and agreeing, like, concerned because they don't bite, and so it's like, oh no, Castle Mom and Dad are fighting now.
Adea probably loses interest once she realizes she doesn't understand what's being said.
Just like, okay.
I'll
Well,
leave this guy and look for more food that isn't kale.
for kicks and giggles, will somebody give me a high or low?
I
High.
I thought the same thing first, and then I was like, I want the option of, like,
He said
high, low, or middle.
something. He says something that everyone misses because it is just in that wrong part of the language that you understand. But he says something, she goes dead silent and just stares at him, stands up, and just punches him, and then walks off. Killian drops what she's eating, and she's just like, laughing. And he's just sitting there holding his face like this. And he just kind of looks over and realizes everyone else is there, and he's just like,
You're all right,
I just saw your
Very professional, very dignified.
Are you alright?
yeah, I'm fine. He like removes his hand and his nose is bleeding. She got a good hit on him. She's just like, yeah, nope, we're good.
I believe your wife has disagreed with you.
I think I lost the disagreement.
It would appear so. I'm trying to distract their kids so that they don't realize that mom just punched their dad.
Okay, let's
I'm
see.
trying.
Let's see how well that works.
What do you need from me?
Nothing, I'm just seeing what the kids... Well, the infant has no idea, but the older two definitely saw that. And Kador just starts laughing because you got hit by a girl. And you lost. And he like
have something to say about it.
Elaine's just like, what's that gonna mean? Us can hit too. Just punches him in the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself in between the two of
Yeah.
them if I'm not all right.
Yeah. Rana will as well. It's like,
Okay.
Well, she does have a point. I don't think she needs to make that point right now.
Hello. Did you have a good nap? Are your feet dry now? We had trauma earlier.
Oh no.
Elvis went outside, ate grass, and then promptly vomited on the kitchen floor. And this little idiot walked through it, so he had to get his feet washed, and he was full bottle brush. He was like, "Dad's torturing me." It was horrifying. You're not making any sound.
Yeah, the only saving grace was the one foot I knew for a fact was dirty, was the one I started with. Because he immediately was all for trying to grab hold of me as best he could.
Yeah.
Sorry, now he's like intently smelling the floor for some reason. Yeah. Trauma. Anyway. He's just he grabs just like a cloth napkin nearby and just starts like mopping up his face.
You want me to fix that?
Could you? That'd be great. Last thing I want to do is choke on my own blood.
I doubt you're gonna be able to do that. Actually, can I do
Well,
a,
we didn't go with the
medicine check?
Gorlos wasn't going to die in the war.
Yeah.
Going to die suffocating on his own blood after his wife punched him.
What a way to go.
Emrys didn't mention that part of the vision.
That's an 8.
And I'm pretty sure he would have mentioned it if he had seen it, because he would have reveled in a great punching him.
I will say it's enough to recognize as you're like kind of feeling around and just checking. It's not broken. She just really got him good and busted a few capillaries in there.
Yeah, it's probably like, doesn't look too bad, and I'll like squeeze it just a little bit, and then use lay on hands to heal it all up.
It's just he like slapped your hands away when you're. Did you have to be so rough?
I don't know. Did you forget your wife, through will alone, could drag your ass out of Asgard, and throw you over the bridge and into the walled city?
What?
So yes, you did. That's.
I don't think he knows what Asgard is.
Hang on. I think he's used this word before. Home of gods?
Yeah, generally, and also the afterlife of worthy warriors.
I paid attention. That makes a little more sense now that I actually piece it together. Look, this was. I need to catch you guys up anyway. Will sent a message. The army is less than a week away. I don't know how they made the time they did. But likely they'll be here in like 3 to 4 days. I'm guessing the Morrigan might have had something to do with it.
Probably.
I'm guessing that Amrar already knew this.
Yeah.
Tong knew this because she flew there.
Yeah. Yup. So, this means that we're gonna have to move up our plans and or change them if we cannot implement them fast enough. We'll should be back either late tonight or early tomorrow morning to help with any of that. But yeah, we're kind of screwed.
Odea's been working on the ring. How close is she probably to finishing it?
If she keeps rolling like she has been, maybe another day and a half.
Okay.
It's a decent sized ring, and she's got a lot of iron.
Like, it's really big, so I'd be surprised if she finished it in one day.
Yeah. She's made very good progress. And she'll probably make better progress if she's not tired.
Yes.
Because she may get advantage if she's not exhausted. So she's probably aware of this too. So
yeah. I've been working on the ring. It's still probably got a day or two left on it though.
Well, that's within our current time frame, so even if we have like a partial ring, that's better than nothing. It'll still wreak havoc with their magic.
I've got these wild magic crystals. I don't know what Aaron wanted these for.
He flinches, just like, you have, why do you have wild magic crystals?
We found the
catacombs.
Dorado.
It was way more interesting than whatever we were doing before. We did almost die, but that pretty baller details.
Rolls her eyes in the midst of Idea's explanation here.
And we got to meet a minor god of magic, and he was cool, and he gave us cool stuff.
Okay, yeah, Quetzalcoatl was kind of cool. He wouldn't hit me though because I was little. He just let me kind of no, that's his name, Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, it sounds like you're gargling.
Zoom tight.
I think you're being rude, but it sounds like you're being rude, so I'm confused. But and yeah, he never let me actually hit him. He would pick me up on with one wing and let me slide to the other side. A little annoying, actually.
Huh.
But yes, that's why we have the magic crystals. The necklace that she made ended up with tooth.
After it absorbed necromancy magic from
The Fisher
the
King.
Isle, yeah, the Fisher King.
It absorbed.
I don't think the crystal itself is necromantic.
It's definitely not a wild magic crystal anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I suppose as long as it doesn't give us grief, I'm concerned.
I've tried to solve a lot of problems with these crystals. I will find a problem that they solve at some point.
It mostly caused a little bit of havoc.
Although I did not call for them this time. So somebody's got a better plan than I do, presumably.
Are those crystals meltable?
I've never tried.
How would you
Presumably,
melt a
Tong would know as a
crystal?
geologist.
I'm trying to think. I don't think Brina would know.
He wants to take a moment to appraise them.
Aren't they just a rock?
They hand me
That
one.
sounds like a suggestion
says.
to a dad. Throw them in a furnace, and that's exciting.
What?
If these are cursed magic, we could grind them into powder and scatter them upon our enemies.
Ooh, wait a minute. The dust.
Tong
Brina
will then say it
back.
louder. Idea, hand me one of the crystals. And she said, most rocks do melt. In fact, that's where most rocks come from. However, given that these are magical rocks, they might not.
I kind of wonder if they'd explode if we melted them.
I hope not.
Or make
So-
Brina 2 feet shorter.
I'm going to assume that profession geology applies to this.
Yes.
I put one in my bag once. It caused it to rain inside the bag.
Yeah,
That was probably not a good idea.
no.
That gave us more information about them.
I forgot I had Alright. So I forgot I put 8 ranks into this. And since
Uh-huh.
it's a profession, I have proficiency in this. Do I add
you-
my intelligence?
Yes.
Okay, so that brings the modifier from a plus 11 to a plus 16.
What did you roll?
It was a nat 2 with disadvantage. But still, it's an 18.
She knows
Is-
something even when she's completely worn out.
She knows something even when she might not remember things because of being worn out.
Yeah.
When you spend your entire life on something, you're probably going to
Yep.
be good at it no matter what.
Yeah.
The numbers version of doing it in your sleep.
Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna make this out of. Give me just 1 second. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Sorry. Alright. So, as you're looking at this wild magic crystal, Tongue, you come to the realization you know what these crystals actually are. Like, you know what mineral this is.
Okay.
This is rhodonite. And in the spiritual sense, it's often used to soothe anxiety, panic, and emotional trauma, which seems counterintuitive to the chaos it creates. But one of the things it's supposed to do is encourage kindness and reduce conflict. And by connecting it to certain metals, it might actually enhance their abilities to, quote, prevent conflict, meaning prevent magic. That's why they're so chaotic. You also know that rhodonite is, in fact, a manganese silicate mineral with a melting point of 2,356 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm pretty sure that's too high for the forges of the age.
At least it's not Celsius.
Yeah. But we do have a fire druid.
Yeah.
Once Will gets back.
We'll just get everyone on the bellows, and if everyone rolls a natural 20 on their strength checks at the same time, we'll get it that hot for about 1 second.
It's only it's only like 1100 degrees Celsius, not the end of the world.
How high did you say the melting point was?
2,356 degrees Fahrenheit.
Medieval forges can get that hot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you have to be able to melt metals.
Yeah, like iron melts at like what 1500 degrees Celsius. So yeah, we can
Something
get
like
there.
that.
They had to. I mean, the Romans made their pipes out of lead or something out of
Yeah.
lead. So, and that notoriously has a high melting temp.
You were correct. It was their pipes, as well as like cooking pots. They also made out of lead, so most of them had lead poisoning.
Lead only melts at 327 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that's why they used lead for so many things, because they didn't
Yeah.
have to put a lot of effort into it.
That's
But
why
of
like
course,
plumbing.
great, and then they're like, "Oh, this is deadly. This is a terrible idea."
I mean, that's literally why they call it plumbing, is because plumbus was, or not plumbus, in Latin,
Plumbum.
plumbum. Thank you.
Which is
Means
why
lead, and so it
chemical
was just
for
lead
iron is-
workers.
Okay, yeah, we can do it. We're on the higher end of temperatures, but we can do it.
So as Song is, just like gonna say, like looking at it in her hands, she'll mutter off all of that in her own special way. So perhaps a bit more professionally, since well, as she goes further along, gets more professional, as this is her job.
So the other thing that you'll know, because it's manganese, a manganese silicate, you know that manganese is paramagnetic. So it'll take on the magnetic properties of whatever's near it, which causes causes some randomization in the way it moves, which is what causes the chaos with the magic. Because sometimes it's like, oh yes, allow the magic to flow, and then sometimes it's like, maybe not. So it just stops working, and you're like, what the hell? And that is why this particular mineral works the way it does, and why it is considered a wild magic crystal. Because
So
you get to
yeah,
decide what the hell that means.
yeah, she's
Okay.
rattling all of this off.
She's using a lot of big words that most of you don't understand.
Dan probably gets some of it.
Mhm.
Probably not all of it.
What is this?
And she's also thinking about the fact that she found it in a cave with quartz, and she never got to throw it at that magic eating dust elemental. And
So long story short, we can use it.
If
I don't
you
know why
get
we're trying to melt it. We could.
I mean, it's you can put it into metals to give it to make the metal have the same properties as wild magic. I did. That is correct, right, DM? That is what you said.
Yeah, basically, because it's going to take on not the metal so much. It's going to take on the properties of the metal.
So if it's mixed, if it's used with iron, it'll take on the properties of iron,
Yeah.
as in the anti-magical force.
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's how that because essentially magic uses the magnetic field.
Mhm.
And because of how strong iron's magnetic field is, it replaces the ley lines, the magnetic field of Earth, which is why it blocks things, because it's created its own field that's causing some problems. Whereas diamagnetic things don't block it, so they don't have an effect on those ley lines.
So if those crystals are meant to help decrease conflict, that would be a very good thing to be able to use.
I was planning on just having someone really slippery follow the white lady with one of those the entire battle, but I mean, if we can just throw it at everybody, throw those rocks at everyone's heads and they'll stop, then I guess that'll work.
My thought was that we can, because before there's even a fight, usually there is a talk of trying to prevent the fight. Neither side wants to expend their men if they don't have to. Typically, it's more a show of power. So if we give them, say, a gift to encourage them not to fight, and that gift just happens to have those crystals in it, that way it's near the gods, the goddesses, perhaps it will prevent some of their magic while we have the ring on our side. Because we already kind of know from that dream, since Adeus mentioned her portion, we already kind of know that they're expecting us to make this ring. They may easily be able to avoid it. They may not be expecting some random piece of jewelry that, say, the king wears, and they stay near the king fairly often, I'm sure. He could be their downfall without even knowing it.
What would make Constance trust anything we give him, though?
Is it shiny enough?
Yeah.
Make it shiny.
She's gonna be.
So, just thought.
I like this plan. I'm glad it's better than mine.
What was yours?
Yeah, just literally just following one of the goddesses around, like the White Lady, with one of those rocks. Just be like, hey, I'm behind you the entire time. Oh, by the way, your magic doesn't work.
Tooth goes, yeah, I like that plan better, because something tells me it would have been me being forced to walk around with that stupid rock in my hand.
Probably.
I would have done it.
No.
Debating the divine magic to invisibly follow ensure that nothing will go wrong.
I don't think putting you closer to the White Lady, Airden, is a good idea.
Yeah, but if I was carrying the crystal, instead of 100% of the things she does and would end up killing me, only maybe a third would definitely kill me.
That's still way too high of a percentage. If we could make something shiny enough that Constance would wear it, willing to try. But he is already working on the ring.
You got jewelers or something, right?
Yes, I have jewelers at my beck and call. I am not a king, Erden. I am a duke.
No.
It's like, what, 2 steps lower?
I can form whatever the crystals are going into fairly quickly as long as it's workable with magic. It's just about putting the crystals themselves in there. Might not be too difficult.
Brina's just Like, her face looks a little bit confused because she's remembering how long it took Idea to make the wild magic necklace.
I still don't quite get that. I'm mostly just trying to punch a hole in it so I could put a chain in
And that took
forever.
forever.
The other thing we'd have to keep in mind is the color. The color is bound to give it away. You seem to know a lot about rocks, Lady Tong. Is there a way to change the color without changing the properties?
Usually, the color in gems such as this comes from impurities in the rock.
Could put it behind glass.
The glass would be colored?
Could be. Well, I don't know that much about glass. It doesn't tend to hold up very well.
Yeah.
Is there like a way to magically disguise it?
Where is
On a ley line.
Where's our Atlantean glassblower when you need him? What's his name? Oh, where's Chris when you need him?
Hanging out with my family.
No, he was on the ship when we arrived in Alexandria.
Correct.
Or not Alexandria, Sahetru.
We left him behind in Cicada room.
Nope. He didn't exactly go with us to the library.
Yeah, he parted ways with us from the ship.
We did also leave Cicada Rue in a doomsday situation.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Too many of those.
Tong, do you want to give me another geology?
All right. Disadvantage. Using the same roll as last time. That is 1 higher.
Can't Rada give like guidance or something?
I mean, I could have had Gausha use the health action.
I was to say, is Tom still? Did Tom not sleep?
No.
Okay.
Tong, because it's definitely high enough. You know that if it's heat treated, it will turn brown or black.
It wouldn't be as interesting to most people, but you could heat treat it and turn it brown or black.
You said jewelers would use it for...
Jewelers would use a heat torch to heat treat it. Or in the case, probably a jeweler's forge in this era. Since, torches don't exactly... They have torches, not torches.
Yeah.
Or if you're British, they're not torches.
That is my favorite line from the book Prince Caspian. It's the very last line of the book, and Edmund just goes, "Oh, I left my new torch in Narnia."
Love that. So much.
Oh man, my favorite.
Would making it brown or black make it less appealing to Constance? Because that's the only thing that I think that would potentially have an issue with.
Oh, put it in front of a shiny background, silver or gold will work, and it'll just pop.
People use obsidian and smoky quartz in their jewelry all the time.
I guess I'm asking more about Constance himself, and if it would appeal to him, since he's the one that we're going to try and get it to.
Oh, easily.
As long as it's expensive?
He doesn't care what it looks like.
No.
Yeah, could definitely make something that looks pretty inexpensive.
Idea could probably put half as much effort into it, and Constance would still think it's the greatest thing ever.
He doesn't know it only takes 5 seconds to cast a fabricate spell.
It's true.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Doubt the man can even dress himself. He's a king. He's got like 10 manservants at his beck and call. They dress him.
Is that how it is for all nobles?
And wore a fabricated amulet to his wedding.
I mean, technically, yes, I have a manservant who helps me with things. However, I'm also a druid. I was taught how to take care of myself. My manservant doesn't dress me, but he does bring me dinner, or breakfast, or lunch. He does double check my speeches so I don't sound like an idiot.
That's nice.
Oh, that makes a little more sense now.
And that's how you know these guys are friends.
I'll have you know, my manservant was highly educated.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
You're back from outer space. Man, I miss being able to pick up Albus with one hand. He's so heavy, and he's so old. I don't want to break him.
I like the dramatic flop backward and the push against your face. Mom, no.
He's always so dramatic. Albus. Well, that was tough. Albus is downstairs. I don't know where Albus is. Tough did the funniest backflip when we came in the house today. I was afraid he was going to hurt himself. He was like, "Oh my gosh, you're home!" I was like, "Kitten, don't do that." It was really funny because Albus got up and he walks over and watches the kitten flop over, just looks at him and looks at me. I'm like, I know.
Why must this youth be here?
He's disgracing himself, Mother. I don't know why. Welcome home.
I got a video of the two of them playing. He cannot deny it anymore. Albus was kicking his butt. It's not quite as funny as when my aunt's dogs would play, because my aunt had a boxer and then a little, like, Basenji Terrier mix. And when the boxer would get tired of him, he would just swallow his head. And just to the ground. Yeah.
Dog that lives below us is a boxer.
Boxers are funny. I wish they weren't so drooly.
Like the one that you can hear barking sometimes. Yeah, that's the one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He's normally not like. It's not a defending the home kind of a bark. It's like, I am bored. Please come play with me. Bark. He's like, I'm all alone. Somebody come play with me.
There's no one here beside me.
Like if he sees somebody pass by the door, it's like, people, come help me, come be my friend. So I always say hello to him when we walk by the door and he starts barking.
Why not? Anyway. So yeah, that's what we're looking at.
I was gonna say, because Brina probably has a kind of a weird look on her face because she's like contemplating all nobility having servants to help potentially dress them. And she's like, that's...
Well, if you're really concerned, I technically also had handmaids, but I never used them because I was raised rural.
It's just hard to imagine somebody not knowing how to dress themselves.
when you have people taking care of you, you don't know a lot of things.
Please continue. Don't mind my brain going sideways.
That's all right.
As a player, obviously she's thinking of the implications with Prince Urian. Duh. Continuing.
Well, that's why Tong said something.
So, what part of the future strategy got you punched in the nose again?
It may have had to do with me leading my army.
A point of contention.
Hmm.
But she seemed to think that I should send my Earl out to do it.
Earl.
Hurl your Earl at the problem.
I knew a man named Earl. I didn't trust him.
I was gonna say, Amor's not the Earl yet. I don't
He's
think.
technically the Earl because isn't his stepfather sickly, and so Amor's kind of taken over.
He's the
Acting Earl.
regent.
Yeah. I mean, regent's
Because-
normally used for an actual ruler, but you could always say he's like the. Oh, how do they do it with the Quorum of the 12? The acting president. So he's kind of like the acting Earl?
Yeah, because the Earl is too old to
Mhm.
be actively participating in something like this. He physically cannot ride a horse anymore. It just doesn't work.
I'm
He
guessing
can't.
that makes it pretty clear he was talking about Amor then.
Yeah.
Wasn't I going anyways?
That doesn't make it better.
Probably trying to subvert that prophecy that fortune teller gave.
I'm just saying that there's no instead here. I was going regardless. I mean, I guess unless they told me not to go.
Kellerman just goes, the difference is there was not a prophecy made about you dying. At least not one made by the Merlin.
So
that does-
instead of dying in a field, he instead can die in his wife's arms? That doesn't feel much better.
I think the idea is that the army doesn't make it to the castle where they will be.
Even with the large army he has, even I would split my army into two groups, one to take on the defending army, and the other one to just walk around it and get behind the lines.
Right? That's kind of why I thought some of you guys were staying behind with her. But maybe I misunderstood.
No,
I am
believe
staying
that
for
there-
certain.
I know Tooth wanted to stay because he wanted to help protect the kiddos. I think I was one of the ones that was also staying behind. I will go wherever I'm needed.
And not that I am going to be personally involved. She kind of glances at Amber like, are you going to stop me? But I would say that it was smart to have maybe 2 or 3 of you here. Igraine's powerful, don't get me wrong. She is powerful in the healing aspect, not so much in the fighting aspect. Not that she would ever admit that. She is sword trained. So that can only take you so far.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think leaving our 3 strongest back here is a great idea.
Brina looks around and looks very confused because she I get Kong and maybe Tooth, but I'm like, me?
Tooth goes, "Aw, hey."
Not
Cobalt's
this.
just looking around the room, realizing.
Honest.
Cobalt's just looking around the room, confirming the fact that goes, "Crap, I am the weakest guy here."
Yeah. I applaud your praise, but physically speaking, I wouldn't even be able to cause his nose to bleed if I were to punch him.
And honestly, you've seen me in combat. I do my best.
So,
She has
Well, yeah,
a
well-
doctor for her.
so I do presume that you were mentioning my magic.
Obviously. Magic, personality, and everything else that matters except for fighting, frankly. And absolute chaos.
'Tis the leprechaun way.
Maybe I should find another catacomb map.
We're all strong in our own ways. Yeah. Aaron and I
that's
can
not
take a lot of hits. Idea, looks like your armor has improved. I don't know
We also
anything
got-
about the human yet.
Oh, Roddy, you missed the fight that Kellenen requested.
It was amazing.
She
But it was
wanted
fun.
Idea to fight Cobalt to make sure he was good to fight with us. Sorry, Cobalt.
It is what it is.
Not exactly easy to hit.
You gotta beat him up.
I mean, he did break his bed in his sleep, so I mean that's gotta count for something.
And then Idea fixed it. This is also like the first time Brina's actually talking to Rada. So it probably seems a little weird to her that Brina's just kind of naturally talking to you at the moment. It's because she's not thinking about it.
Well, we're both in the we're both in a working mindset, so neither of us are really thinking about it.
Yeah, and so it's not this big they're actually talking again. It's more of just like they're talking.
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. So, well, you can hit pretty alright and dodge even better. What else can you do?
I do have one particular talent. I have frankly avoided mentioning it while simultaneously working on it. Not overly fond of it, but I am rather skilled in the opposite of the healing arts. He then produces a handful of vials of poison that are clearly labeled with a skull as a warning and sets them on the table. I have been brewing as much as I can. If you coat a weapon with it, it's rather nasty.
Brina keeps Elaine and Cador's hands from reaching for said poisons.
He has. Oh, sorry. He sets them down in like the chess player type of way, where he's put it down, but he hasn't stopped touching it. In that, if I need to, I will snatch it back up before anyone can make a move within 6 feet of it.
Yeah.
Gorlos will hold his hand out for one of them. Yeah.
Him, I would hand it to.
He'll pop one open, he'll kind of waft it, and he's like, Aconite. Okay.
Yes, among other things, there's a few different brews I've done so far.
Devious.
It's a way to handle situations. As of this moment, if I've got my math right, he has 20 doses put together so far. He's been kind of focused on one thing for the last several days.
Where did you learn to do this?
Anyone can
It's a
juice a
bit of a pain.
belladonna.
It's a bit of a painful history. I was kind of forced into the trade.
Gonna say this doesn't sound like something that a monk would do.
You are correct in that matter. It is not something a monk would do. This was a previous life, if you will.
He's just looking at you. Have I arrested you before?
He bows his head and turns around, lifts the back of his shirt. There are marks from about 40 lashes.
Oh. No, I haven't. But some Roman got a hold of you.
Yes, more than once.
Were you a mercenary?
That's a bit more formal than what the family business was.
And what was the family business?
Judging by
He's
the book, I'd say it was murder.
I was gonna say, this is innocent little Brina asking because she's like, I don't like where this is going. I have an idea of where this is going, but I don't like where it's going.
No. We were not assassins or anything of the like.
You are an assassin? That's so
No.
cool!
No.
Is that Cobalt? Or not Cobalt,
Cador.
Yes.
Sorry, child. No, I was not an assassin. I was raised to be a bandit and had to turn away from that life.
You're a bandit? Did you rob people?
Yes, and those people were not happy about it because stealing is wrong, and that is one of the reasons why my back looks the way it does. It's also the reason why none of the other bandits are alive right now.
Cool!
No, not
No,
cool.
that's not cool.
That is the wrong lesson to learn, child.
Lewis, should I find their nurse or something? Because I have a feeling this conversation might be.
Yeah. You guys cannot be here. Dad, I want to be a bandit when I grow up. No.
No.
You're going to be a duke
No.
when you grow up.
Yeah, you will be a duke.
Bandits? He kneels down, looks, and goes, bandits spend more of their time alone and cold in the woods, being sick because they ate rotten food, than they do getting to do anything you think is fun.
It's an
That
adult
sounds like
thing.
It is not fun. Have you?
Okay. I want you to give me a charisma check and see if you can convince this child that you were telling him the truth.
20
He
for
rolled
a
a thing.
total.
He
He-
rolled a 13. He
But-
looks pretty
Cobalt is going to
disappointed.
set his hand on the child's on his shoulder and go, "Have you ever had a tummy ache?
Yeah.
Bandits have a tummy ache every day, all day long. That's why I stopped being a bandit."
He's very quiet. Papa, I think I want to be a duke.
I think that is a great idea.
But does that mean you have to die first? Oh, come. I will be right back. He's just gonna like walk his kids out.
Oh.
I was gonna say it's like I was originally gonna like pick up the baby and grab Elaine by the hand and have somebody else grab Kador, and I was gonna take him for him, but that makes much more sense.
Actually, as Elaine goes by, I will try and give her a high five, like, nice punch.
Arden!
Oh, he will totally high five you.
Shouldn't be encouraging
They
that.
are both on Elaine's side.
Oh, God forbid a girl does anything.
You know full
Somehow-
well that we. Brina, Ide, and I alone prove what Dora said earlier is false. Colin alone proves that false.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I wrote Guinevere the way I wrote her. My favorite thing for scene I wrote with her was Lancelot was trying to show off when they first met, and she just wasn't having any of it. And he starts to walk away, and she just takes her longbow and just shoots him in the butt. Right in front of Gawain, and Gawain's like, she shot you in your butt. And he never lets him live it down. Like, it comes up later. It's just like, yeah, I mean, if you piss her off, she might shoot you in the butt again. He's just like, oh my gosh, drop it.
No.
No,
The ultimate design.
We are not Kador's peers, and Elaine is.
As having an older brother, have I wanted to hit run several times? Yes. Have I? Maybe. But it's not a good habit to start. Was it not that bad of a punch? Yeah, it wasn't that bad of a punch. But
We don't want
He
those
doesn't have a
habits.
temperament to keep
staying.
doing it.
it's a good technique. They have good potential with them. They made sure to put their thumbs and their fingers positioned in the right place.
Hmm?
especially if she has to punch somebody else.
Rada. You should not encourage them. The rest of the party, we're gonna encourage them.
I mean,
Rita's not
She-
encouraging that.
she had her
She's
shoulder into it.
I'm in the middle.
This party
She had her
acknowledges gender equality.
She had her
Yeah.
shoulder into the punch. That's a good 50% power. If she put her hip into it, then we really would have seen some strength into the punch.
You sound like my dad, Hong says.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's really hard to punch somebody when you're sitting down. Which is why Igraine stood up and then let him have it.
You know, if we do end up having a time skip, that's one I'm looking forward to. I think she'd do great in some combat classes.
What's kind of funny is that going back over my notes, we technically already had a time continuity error because when we are in Boris and Van's court, basically, Elaine is there, and she was like more like a young woman when we were there.
Oh yeah, that was canceled out like what, 1 or 2 sessions
I was
later.
gonna say,
But
I
like,
think we canceled that out
Oh,
because it was
yeah.
supposed to be the same Elaine.
Yeah.
One thing that's nice though is like going back over my notes and reading that, I'm like, Yep, pretty sure we retconned that, so never mind.
The other problem is that there are so many Elaines in the Arthurian legend that sometimes I mix them up, trying to pull them all apart.
Yeah, because there's also
It's-
Elena Vassar, Lady of Shalott.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's
And
even
I don't
worse in the
know if
Bible with
Elena was
Mary's.
a popular name in the 1500s, or what? If it was like being named Elizabeth.
Or Mary.
Yeah. So everyone was named Elaine, but yeah, that name pops up a lot with different spellings, and I'm just like, wait, which one are you?
Yeah. But
A few minutes go by.
taking his kids away.
Yeah. It'll be a bit, so if you guys want to chat while he's... I mean, I guess you were chatting about the punch. He'll be back within a few minutes. He probably passed him off to a servant.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. They are delightful. I love them.
Your daughter is very adorable.
Both of them.
Yes.
I'm glad Kador wants to be the next Duke instead of a bandit.
Oh, I'm sure by tomorrow he's going to want to be a sailor or something.
I could help with that if you wanted to know how to sail. I'll still be, but Duke first.
Yeah, but likely he's going to want to be a Gaelic pirate.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I do know how to build ships.
Dude looks at you and goes, ship's big enough for a human?
Yeah, I mean, most of the boats that we make are normally for my people's size, so about 2 feet shorter than I am now, but yeah.
Just asking. Because, man, the first time I had to make shoes for somebody who was bigger than me, that was not a good time.
Is this Tooth talking to me or the Duke?
This is too.
How long did it take to convince him he didn't want to be a wandering adventurer after I told him about my time crossing grasslands and accomplishing whatever I was doing?
Too long. It was like 2 weeks. Might have been 3. I don't know. He was convinced he was going to go on a hero's journey. Yeah? Are you gonna go on a hero's journey?
Or accidentally inspires the Crusades 800 years too early.
Huh?
Emmer accidentally inspires the Crusades 800 years too early.
Except the Crusades have to be sanctioned by the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not enough religious fervor. Sorry.
But
Not enough wandering soldiers that need
Everport
something
is
to do.
distinctly
Yeah.
from that area, and he picked it up at some point.
So what about strategy for the battle itself? I mean, you are outnumbered, and Hannibal, you are not.
A light suddenly pops up on Adea's face. Wait, if a grain says that Gorlois can't go, does that mean I can wield the sword?
No, that would go to someone more responsible, like Amror or myself. Or Erden, except he has enough swords.
I mean, you could always use another sword.
You have 3.
Look,
I don't use one of them.
we haven't come to any agreement about where I am going to be yet. Just need her to calm down so we can talk rationally.
Sir, if that was you talking rationally, I recommend you calming down too. Otherwise, you
Yes.
might just get punched again.
That is why I didn't follow her. Anyway, no, I don't really have a strategy for this. I'm not usually the one in charge of that. It's usually Uther. And he's not here.
Tongue's hand goes to her facelet. I can't believe this.
I mean, Kellenen and I have been trying to
What?
work on something all day, but it's kind of hard to account for two goddesses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm used to being able to strategize when it's just ordinary people fighting, whether we've got the same numbers or not. Trying to account for two immortal beings showing up, especially when I live on a ley line and it's going to affect their powers as much as mine, that's not something I can account for. As far as the people, they can't get around the castle if we, because there's like a narrow. Let me.
Isthmus?
Yes.
If things haven't changed, then it would be an isthmus and a gorge.
Yeah. So they can't get around like behind us unless we oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Sorry, I was looking at a map and apparently not far from Tintagel Castle they have a Camelot Castle hotel. Laying that one on thick, but it would work. I kind of want to go stay at it.
If they
So-
use the water, would they be able to pick up here to come around the back? I mean, I know when we came through the portal, that's how we got up here.
I don't know that they could use the water because currently Bretagne is blockading the strait. If you are not on Uther's side, you can't get past the Bretons.
I also believe the castle is on a cliff, right? So they'd have to climb the cliff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If they landed on the beach below the cliff and then hiked up.
Yeah. So I'm less worried about them getting in behind. At least they won't be getting a whole army. They may be able to barter a few people onto a ship at a neighboring town and then just ride over and all that, but I mean, sending even a couple of people to come fight a dukedom run by a druid, not a smart move. Unless you have sorcerers of your own. And he's Roman. If he's going to pretend like he is Christian in any way, shape, or form, magic is of the devil, and he's not going to do that.
And yet he's still working with these two goddesses.
I never said the guy wasn't a hypocrite. The people who work for him probably have no idea who those women are. Most of them are not going to be fully Celtic.
I mean, is it
And
a
we'll probably be
surprise? Is it a surprise he's an unholy heretic?
Precisely.
If we have a choke point, could we fortify the choke point?
That's my thought. That we set up the ring at the choke point. That we set up archers around that choke point. There are other cliffs near there. We could set them up on. Get longbows out there.
The choke point being on the ocean sea side of the castle or the land side of the castle?
The land side.
Maybe I should learn how to make a magic bow that lasts really well.
Are we planning on making the battle here?
No, the choke point isn't right here.
Wait, could you repeat that, please?
The choke point isn't here. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a visual.
Yeah, because I'm having a hard time visualizing this.
Yeah. The castle is not in the spot that I am making it in to make it work. Also, they honestly picked a weird spot for the castle. I don't know why they built Tentacle where they did.
Yeah, it was very dispensable.
So, the peninsula looks like this. The castle's gonna be closer to the edge than it will be to where it actually says Tentacle Castle. That's where the choke point's going to be.
Kind of like where it says gallows statue.
Yeah, the castle will be more like over there by the statue.
Okay. So the choke point would be more where the castle bridge is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I downloaded a PDF of Tintagel Castle's like layout, as it would have been. That is the wrong campaign.
They'd be very confused.
Oh no, what the file explorer came up with my Tales of the Valiant stuff.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Fix up some stones, make it the choke point more choke. Mason too. Just can't be in all these places at once. But I'm gonna try.
I think for those of us remaining here, making sure that there isn't anybody coming up from the ocean, I think would be a good idea, just in case. Especially because you said that they could possibly get onto a ship in the nearby town. My thought goes to, if they come around the backside, it's not necessarily to kill if necessary. It's more taking hostages that they can negotiate with.
Yeah. Agreed.
Being kidnapped is no fun.
No, it is not a pleasant experience.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah.
That actually came up. Our trivia. That was fun.
Echo.
Echo. Didn't catch what you said.
The Selkie came up in our Day trivia that I put on the other night.
I liked Verlo's reaction to the Selkie comment.
It is unfortunate. Yes.
Not sure which one of us got the worst end of that deal. They were both pretty terrible.
Yeah. You, in a way, you probably got the worst end of that, Emma. I mean, I was just being kidnapped and in the mouth of a gigantic seal. Very fishy. Took me weeks to get that smell out of my cloak. Even with prestidigitation. But you actually got beaten up.
The good news is that both of us avoided the fate that was in store for us.
Is Kobold having any reaction to two people casually talking so casually talking about Selkies?
At this point, he's just too busy being excited about the fact that everyone has just moved on from him being a criminal and is just ignoring that fact.
Gotcha. Selective hearing.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not going to die.
Oh. And more important things on my mind.
He's also slightly desensitizing himself.
Makes sense. Rita would probably still be watching for your reactions to see if you were alarmed because she knows that we freak you out sometimes. Or at least that we have
He's very
quite
alarmed. Yeah, he is very alarmed visibly. He's like freaking out quietly, but not the same way he has been in the past.
Okay. So, still alarm on his face, but not the existential panic that I've seen before. Got it.
Yes. He's already heard about the Morrigan, so a Selkie is much lower down the list of what the heck is going on here.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're kind of small potatoes compared to the Morrigan.
We've been dealing with the Fae since I showed up. A little bit of Fae is fine.
Small Fae, Selkies, those are fine. Big Fae, Morrigan, what?
What is my life coming to?
Exactly.
It don't even matter. Anyway, yes, fortifying the choke point.
What, do we need to make like a reverse dungeon or something?
Good point.
Like we're the ones who are building the dungeon and they're the adventurers who keep dying on the pit traps or whatever.
Bring the Oreos over here. It's fine.
That would be hilarious.
It's enough, that's the problem.
I don't know that we could come up with build a dungeon, a reverse dungeon in 2 days though. Unless you think you got that kind of skill.
Erden definitely doesn't.
Today I can do parts of it, but not a whole dungeon.
We just need Will to get here, it'll be fine. We'll build the rest of it.
Between 2 castings of stone shape and masonry skill, we would get somewhere. It's not a whole dungeon.
Oh, come on. Believe in yourself more. So at this point, is there anything else we wish to discuss on the matter over supper?
I don't think necessarily over supper, but just so that I am understanding this. Let's see if I can do. Sure. Neither of those are the screen I want. Yeah, I can just do this. I just quickly. Not there. Come on.
So we got the iron ring, we got the very nice piece of jewelry with the wild crystals, and we've got choke point. What order am I doing these in?
And we have a general idea of who's staying behind and who's not.
So just so that I'm understanding, I was thinking something like this. And Tony uses my illusion to create a very quick map.
Yes. Approximately.
Some form of collapsing defense?
Form of what?
Like a collapsing defense. I had the front line attacks first, and then they step back while the next line behind them takes over, and then it keeps falling backwards.
It just was
Yes.
describing the Republican Army.
Do that.
What?
That was Tong saying that.
Yeah.
And Ern looks very confused.
Yeah, that's
I
more
don't
or
know
less
what army
the
that
tactic
is.
that the Roman Republic used.
Yes, the Romans. They do use that. It's a strategy that has been employed to great success at many sizes, such as shooting arrows while the rest of the group runs, and then you run back away through the fire that they've started as they ran past you.
You
Well,
could
I
try
was
to
just
set
like,
something on fire.
That
I'm
might
more
be that might be counterproductive, considering the White Lady is very fiery.
Yeah, I don't think giving her more ammunition would be a good idea. Oh, I see where you're coming from.
At the same time, she can't stop her fire from hurting everybody.
It doesn't sound like a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Tooth, you want to describe what was happening when we ambushed the army the other day?
Do I? We set them on fire?
I might have a panic attack if I try to recount it.
Yeah. We set fire to the army. It was working pretty well until she showed up and they turned it on us and like tripled it. So yeah, let's not set things on fire. And this coming from me.
Alright, back to stonework it is then. I suppose we could put up some wood walls too, but
What do you have against wood?
it's not gonna last as long. I suppose it doesn't need to last that long this time, though. As long as it keeps them out.
Is that what you didn't like about my home? Was that there wasn't... It wasn't permanent enough?
If all your people left and somebody came along in 1,000 years, nobody would know that you've been there.
And there's a problem with that?
Where's the well?
I'd like to know that somebody had been there.
Idea, future archaeologist.
Amateur archaeologist.
I don't think she would be as bad as Harold Schliemann, though. The guy who found Troy and used dynamite to excavate.
Oh, don't do that.
Sounds just as bad as Martian Cope.
It's still going to have
I
some more
know.
around in 1,000 years. You drop a sword, it gets buried, it might be rusted, but you're gonna find it.
Our trees work very well for us, but I understand your point of view better now.
I'm just imagining a very confused archaeologist finding a stone structure where it's definitely not supposed to be. It's like, what the hell is this? This is the weirdest find since the first dinosaur bones.
But
Hey,
there's one rock where it's signed by Udea, and they're like, and then then they keep finding these other structures elsewhere throughout the world, and they're like, what the freak is Idea? Is it this cult of people who just put stone structures everywhere?
No. Idea is Kilroy. As in, Kilroy was here.
I was gonna say it's like the Norse writing they found on the Turkish temple that they didn't realize was Norse at first, and then when they finally figured it out and they translated it, it said Halfdan was here.
Yep. Dan was here.
Like, damn you, Halfdan.
Honestly, I
What
can
is
see
it?
the Ancient Aliens episode now. What is Idea? And is it a type of alien?
The guy with like the crazy hair just going on about like this race from another universe all made of stone. And it's just like, no, it's just Idea. Our beloved Forge. Bless you.
Well, I
Thank you.
notice every time someone goes on to these things and yammers on and on about how aliens built this thing because people can't do stuff like that, they're always the intellectual type who wouldn't know how to fix a doorknob without calling a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter to come do it for them. So these are people who just don't know how people can do stuff with their hands.
You make a really good point there. I hadn't thought about it as much like that, but that makes a lot of sense. I'm more sitting there wondering how the heck the History Channel became the site of Ancient Aliens, because History Channel used to have history.
Yes,
We're not
I
talking
grew up
about
watching it.
history anymore, because if we know history, then we know that we're repeating it.
Yes, and that's the problem right there.
On the other hand, it makes for really good jokes, because there was a post on Facebook years ago where it was like tell us what state you're from in one word, and I took that guy from History Channel just going aliens because Roswell.
What's funny though is that my mom didn't know what Roswell was.
Oh,
I got to explain Roswell to her.
that would be new for me. But I also met people who didn't understand my Mexican joke either. When I was in middle school, we had a Mexican girl start school like halfway through the school year or something. And I was like, oh guys, she's a new Mexican girl, just like me. And my friend goes, honey, I think she's actually from Mexico. And I was like, that's
That's not the joke.
Yeah. I was like, oh dear.
So we have a semblance of a plan. And we kind of know where everybody's gonna be, aside from Lord Gurlois. Is there any more strategizing we can do?
Sounds like we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, what can all of you do in preparation for this?
Well, I have resources to be able to craft a handful more poisons.
I could be your assistant. I don't think I'll be very helpful in the forge, but I could try. You just have a lot of things on your plate.
Actually, Lou has been teaching me some things. I might be able to be of some assistance to it there.
Yeah, that reminds me. You said you'd help me out with something. I'd love to do thaumaturgy again. My eyes don't change color. I got some gold filigree. He said you'd be able to help.
He?
Lou.
Oh. I'll see what I can do.
So he's speaking for me now.
Not surprising.
All
He's
right.
putting you on a path.
If Rod is
Play
going to
with
help
just Paul.
and forge, which, let's be honest, she's probably better at doing that than I am. I know personally I'd want to scout around the castle to familiarize myself with it more, if that's all right with your lordship, because
Yeah.
titles, things like that, any pathways to be aware of, to be able to watch the home front.
No, that's fine by me.
Have your permission to wander.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a
I have to ask.
Just want to be sure. Shoulder just. Okay. So.
hopefully it was time to fortify.
Tooth will actually say, "Can I join you, Brina? I should familiarize myself too."
Okay. I will want to speak to Rada before we all part ways, but other than that, it'll be good to wander. I couldn't find others.
How far away is the choke point that we're trying to fortify?
Why do you have to ask questions like that when I'm close to the map, man?
It's at most a 20-minute walk.
That'd be great. In a day I can do everything at once. Do the forging stuff. Oh yeah, I gotta make sure I use that spell slot on stone shape. Guess I gotta go for a 20-minute walk. Cast stone shape and walk back.
The bridge itself is like 50 meters long.
With a couple of days, we could make that 10 feet wide instead. Oh, that's long, not wide.
Assuming we have the time. Sounds like we may or may not, so.
If anything, using stone shape on the edges to not make it narrower, but make it weaker.
So that it'll collapse under an invading army?
Yep.
How did that? That's not what I wanted. But okay. All those pillars. Sorry. Somehow I ended up in Camelot Castle Hotel, and they've got these really cool pillars. It actually looks like rhodonite. Okay. That's not what I was trying to do. No, there's multiple.
It's important to know how long it will take to march to our choke point.
Yes.
If Tong is able to make spell scrolls, she will work on that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, it's about 1,000 feet, give or take a little bit.
1,000 feet.
Hold on. Where is that marker? Sorry, I'm trying to see where the line is. It's not making very. Yeah, to the bridge. It's about 950 feet from the castle. Like the main.
And what can you do?
Not much.
Not much.
I can play banjo. That's actually impactful. I can help move things.
Move things.
Practice some water magic.
Water magic.
Yeah, I think practicing your druidic magic would be a good idea.
I will say, because you probably had supper going for a while, hour or two, and then there's probably another hour of like discussion afterwards. As things are starting to kind of peter out, and you guys are trying to decide what you want to do, Will show up, looking exhausted and kind of grumpy. But he is there. He kind of pauses in the doorway when he sees all of you in there.
Well,
Welcome back.
Yeah. I assume you've caught everyone up.
Yes.
Grillo's nods as you all say yes. Excellent. I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat. And then I need to speak with Idea alone.
That will.
oh, you're in trouble.
Today gives you that look like, I'm in trouble.
Aren't I?
Get right.
I'm in trouble.
In trouble, and these people don't seem to think that I am troublesome.
I don't like that. What did I do? Look.
More of that look of like, I know what being in trouble is like, and this is not being in trouble. I'm pretty sure.
And I'm actually gonna end it there on that. Idea, I need to talk to you because it's almost 11 o'clock.
Will needs to talk to Dad. Anchor.
Yes. So Idea, so that others do not metagame, we can either just text back and forth in chat, or we could find a time to meet and just roleplay just the two of us.
Mm. Okay.
Oh yeah. Idea is going to get some info. Info drop.
And then knowing the day, nobody else is gonna know until like 2 minutes after it mattered.
Yeah, possibly. So, yep. Anyway, good job, guys.
Okay. Then next time, Brina will make sure to talk to Rada before they all separate.
You're also welcome to do that in the roleplay chat if you don't know it.
Right. We always say that, but we never remember to.
Yeah.
I'm always open to do it because I don't have anything to do during the week.
If I remember, I'm more than happy to do it. It's more a matter of me remembering to do it, so.
Fair point.
But I can try and do that so that when we next start, we can streamline more into actually getting towards this battle.
We can message or schedule a time.
Mhm.
Either one works for me.
Okay, cool.